I think from what I saw, a couple of the feds that had been going for a while, kind of closed doors. So people that were there started looking elsewhere, and that just got people mixing in different groups. So I think that helped. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else, to be honest. It just, yeah, because when I sort of stayed away from the scene, I just stayed completely away from it because I didn't, I was busy prioritizing my kids and my family, so I didn't really get involved that much. I used to go to the occasional show here and there, but apart from that, I didn't really take much notice of it, to be honest. And then, yeah, when the kids, were toddlers, one of my friends asked me to, if, you know, was there any chance that I could wrestle on their show in a couple of months? Like, she desperately wanted me on there, and I was like, well, you know what? Why not? Let's get back into it. So, yeah, and that was a different group because the group that I worked for, WXA, didn't. I guess it didn't exist anymore either. So, yeah.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. So I'm basically under a very similar understanding, but I have more of a like, in order for you to become a great worker, you need to wrestle quite regularly. And everybody had a show once a month or whatnot. Even if you stayed with one company, there still wasn't enough shows to go around. So for you to be really good, you need to work for other companies because it's even still when you combine all the other companies' shows together, it's still technically not enough shows. I'm so
Yeah,
old school. Well, you should be wrestling every day to make a living. You know what I
Mm.
mean? You should be doing that. But
But
that's
would
just my mentality.
but would someone get heat like back in the day when like people weren't wrestling for other promotions? Would someone get heat if they were wrestling for like Harpus's
100%.
promotion and then like they decide to take a booking on say TNT's promotion?
Yeah,
definitely. If they didn't
100%.
ask for permission for that to happen, there definitely would have been drama happening for
Well,
sure.
Really?
that's the
Yeah,
thing. When you got indie feds, they're outlaw feds. And
yeah,
normally back in the day, in the actual territory day, you're allowed to swap talent. You're allowed to, as long as you spoke to the promoters. Back then, promoters used to actually talk and say, hey, we want to borrow this person for such and such a time. Can he work for us? And, if you talk to the promoter, everything's all good. You know what
yeah,
I mean? But now promoters don't talk to each other and then they get upset when you work for other feds. But sometimes you can't blame them because we don't have enough shows to do. So it's
yeah,
it's it's just funny like that. I don't
yeah,
understand the mentality. If I was a promoter personally and somebody wanted to work and experience other workers, I said, yep, no problems, go for it. I'll speak to the promoter. Is it cool she comes over? If it's cool he comes over. And that's how you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah,
that's
definitely. I agree. The more people you work with, you're going to just get more exposure to different styles.
exactly.
People that have either more or less experience than you, and either way, you'll learn from that as well.
Mm.
So, yeah, I agree. The more people you can work with, and the more places you can move around, the better. It's only going to just help you learn and be a better wrestler, really, at the end of the day.
Do you think like there's any promotions out there today that try and sort of stop their talent from going and wrestling in other places?
Yeah, definitely. There are things that happen. Like I know that there's been bookings where people have been discouraged from taking by one particular um, fed because they're worried that it's too close to home for their own shows, or that I'm not really, don't quite get it, because like Rob said, and like we were saying before, I think that people should be out there working as much as they can, getting
Mm.
around the scene and learning from everybody. So I
Correct.
don't get it personally. And I think it's a shame for those people as well, because um, again, they're only going to learn from working with the different groups and the different feds. And if if a promoter is doing things right at their own federation, they shouldn't have to worry about what's happening anywhere else either. So,
Mm.
their workers will come back. If it's a good atmosphere, if it's a good crew of people, and there's camaraderie and respect in that backstage, then people are going to keep coming back. You know, so it's disappointing for those people, because it means that, yeah, they don't get as many bookings as they should be able to. Like, after I came back just last year from my injury, I had like bookings almost every weekend, and I had to turn down bookings, and that's because I do work across so many different groups. So yeah, I feel bad for the guys that don't get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and I think they lose out. You know what I mean? Especially when you know that somebody's got a lot of potential, and it's like, man, they need to branch out and actually work a lot more, because if they're just stuck in one place and they're working at that Fed once every 2 months, it's not enough. It really isn't
Yeah,
enough for us.
exactly right. You need to be out there
Sometimes,
consistently.
And
yeah,
they
no,
also can go, but they can also go back, have these matches, learn from it, bring that back, and then put on
100%.
better matches for your promotion. And
But he's
Yeah,
getting popular
exactly.
because yeah, the wrestler's getting popular in a different area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
So it's like
different crowds. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like a famous celebrity goes on tour. You know what I mean? They wouldn't just stay in one spot. That's why they tour. You know, so people can actually see them. You know what I mean? You get
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah,
It's
definitely. And it goes back to kind of like any promotion is good promotion. Why wouldn't you want your workers to be seen elsewhere? Because if they're gonna, blow up more, that's better for you too. Because maybe then if you are worried about, fans and that kind of thing, maybe then those fans from there will come to your shows next time because they've seen them wrestle elsewhere and they thought, wow, that was great. I want to see more of them. So yeah, I think promoters should be, yeah, definitely opening the door to other feds to letting their workers come there, and also vice versa, letting their workers go elsewhere.
but you could
yeah,
even do it in a way like if feds could work together, like if a Fed could work together in exchanging talent, you could easily do something like an invasion angle, or I mean, because people always love that shit, right? Like people eat that sort of shit up, right? So anytime there's an invasion or like that sort of stuff, like I feel like that's like such a good opportunity that I feel gets missed a lot of the times.
Yeah, it is. And instead of like, trying to battle heads with these other feds or, wasting their energy on that, trying to outdo them all the time or trying to, make sure they book all the talent out or whatever. Yeah, I think that just hurts everybody in the end.